plot to perhaps explain themselves. But also, how is you and the president going to deal with this, because the two of you are directly implicated in this alleged plot? That's my first question. My second question is on the Zondo Commission. You're saying the ANC is going to make submissions. Because in response to what the banks have said, and you continue to make the call that ANC members must go with any information they have. But are you willing to go, Mr. Mahashila, because you've been mentioned as well at the commission, particularly during your tenure in the Free State. So if you're calling for ANC members, leaders to go with any information, and the ANC is going to respond to the testimony by the banks, are you also willing to go and answer and respond to what some people have said about you? My last question is on Mr. Mahoma Pelu.
What has some people said about me?
They've spoken about your tenure as the Free State, as the mayor, as the premier, sorry, in the Free State, and how much money had actually been spent on Gupta businesses. My last question is on Mr. Mahoma Pelu and the Northwest. What's happening around the task team? Has he declined being part of the task team or not? Thank you.
Okay, we're just going to take the first three ends, and then we'll come so that we allow for easy, but to also assist members of the media. If your question has been asked, you nicely just retreat. So you're covered. Or no news note. Yes, we must follow the example of news note.
Okay, Dave with the SABC. On the stimulus package, there's a wide range of issues that have been raised, especially on infrastructure. But directly, what is the ANC going to do to sort of cushion ordinary South African on the impact of rocketing petrol price, for instance? How are you going to make sure that you cushion them from that? And secondly, especially on the plot, a colleague of mine asked about the people that will be comprising that the top 6 officials. It's you and the president who are directly involved in that. Are we likely going to see the president, or maybe you being recused, or maybe having some people having to preside over that meeting and you being excused because you're the ones who have been mentioned? And are we likely going to see President Zuma participating in that? And maybe finally, on the international relations or issues on the African continent. At some point, sometime last week, a Minister of International Relations said the ANC or the ANC-led government or government opted out of the International Criminal Court at the peak of their anger, as you said. And you said that you will seek clarity from the minister. Had that clarity been sought? That's my submission.
Okay. Yes.
Question from Keknet. Actually, Clement has already asked most of the questions I would like to ask, but I also want to know, you said unity is one of the key things that you decided at the meeting. How is that going to be achieved? Because I think many people will agree that there is some division in the ANC.
Okay. The achievement of unity, stimulus package, the plot.
Okay. No, as I have said, the National Executive Committee in the main preoccupied itself with the unity of the organization and the challenges facing South Africans in terms of, you have talked about petrol hikes, you have talked about challenges of unemployment, inequalities, jobs, especially for young people. Those were the issues which really preoccupied the National Executive Committee, including the issue of the Job Summit, as well as the recovery plan, the stimulus package. And government is going to have this Job Summit, so let's live and wait, because South Africans will be making their inputs, organized labor and everybody, they'll be making their inputs there. And as we roll out, you'll then see a government of the ANC in action in trying to address the present challenges. So the focus was not on any other thing except renewing our structures, renewing our organization, and further consolidating the unity of the movement. The unity of the movement is there because we were able to move and make sure that provinces go to provincial conferences. There were regional conferences. I've read the number of regional conferences which took place. Out of 35, we have 22, and they were prepared structures on the ground to go to regional conferences, but they are taking more of our time because our focus is now, the deadline of the conferences was the end of July, August, so we have passed that deadline, and now our focus and our energies are on election work and challenges facing our communities, be it crime, be it unemployment. Those are the issues now preoccupying the African National Congress. We are an elected leadership. We are officials of the ANC. The ANC is able to deal with its own problems and challenges, and whatever issues which are supposed to be addressed by officials will do so. We can't outsource our responsibility as the officials of the ANC. We're a collective leadership, and that's how we run. And between me and President Cyril, we are working together, we are united. We are working, it's progress. We are not focusing on rumors and perceptions. We are preoccupied with building this movement and addressing the challenges facing our communities. State capture, I think our position is clear on the state capture. And anybody who's implicated, who's called, who has to go there, will go there. And I've said at all material times, there is nothing wrong for me to go to the state capture. If I'm implicated, if I'm called to go there, I will go there. And the ANC has actually also stated its position that it will go there and respond to those issues which have been raised around the banks and all those issues. So it's our own creation, so you can't run away from what we ourselves believe in, so that we deal with the perceptions, we deal with the rumors, we deal with the allegations, because something which has not been proven is an allegation. So we'll be able to deal with such issues. Of course, the Northwest PTT has been established. Everybody has welcomed the establishment of the PTT in Northwest. Comrade Super Mahuma Pilo has written to the African National Congress to thank the ANC for wanting to make him part of the PTT, but he has actually, as a member of the ANC, declined to be part of the PTT, and he has actually committed himself to respect the decision of the ANC, and he will forever remain a member in good standing and active as a member of the ANC in his branch. And wherever the ANC wants him to do whatever work, he has indicated that as a servant of the African National Congress, he will forever be ready. And he has actually thanked the ANC and its structures in Northwest for having confidence in him during that period. And he clearly said he understands that this is not the first time a province is disbanded. Lots and many provinces have been disbanded in the past, and that's why he says he will forever remain a member of the African National Congress. The issues of the national resolutions of national conference, 54th National Conference at Nasrec, can't be easily changed by anybody. So our resolutions on land, expropriation of land without compensation, it's a conference resolution. The resolution on the ICC, it's a conference resolution. Maybe I must give you this document because in page 57 as well as in page 58, the conference reaffirmed the resolutions of the 2015 ANC National General Council to withdraw from the ICC. That is a resolution on ICC in page 58. clause 45, and in page 57, on the clause C, 34C, consequently, and in order to give our practical expression of support to the oppressed people of Palestine, the ANC has unanimously resolved to direct the South African government to immediately and unconditionally downgrade the South African embassy in Israel to a liaison office. And of course, the ANC will still have a role to play in the international space, and that's has always been our position.
No, thank you.
I have responded to
Yes,
the issue of the plot.
The SGS responded. It could be that he did not give you the answer you wanted. What the SGS said is that the focus of the NEC was on the unity of the organization, which is what we assist with. So, and he did mention the fact that him and President Ramaphosa work closely well. So the message that officials of the ANC are carrying forward is one that talks to the consolidation of the unity of the movement. We'll have to move and take the other three sets of hands. Yes. Yes.
I also just wanted to find out how far is the HD with all the process of the UP? You understand that the conference is 6 days on this month. Can you perhaps see a postponement of the conference of the UP? That's it.
Okay.
No. SG, one can't help but question you. When you were in the Free State just a week ago, you spoke of some ANC leaders for products of white people.
Then we had the ANC president at COSATU launching what was seemingly a subtle or a direct attack on you without mentioning your name or those who are allegedly plotting to remove him or this incumbent NEC. Then how to remove those who are plotting to remove him as the president of the ANC? He didn't say it, but he was alluding that those who are plotting, they must be plotting to eradicate poverty and not playing marbles with the future of South Africans. Then how does an ordinary South African sitting at home right now accept the explanation that you are giving, that you and the president are united, yet both are seemingly directing attacks to one another in different platforms that you take? And then lastly, what does this say for the ANC going towards an election that is arguably will be the most contested election in 2019, which you, your president, and yourself have said it on record, yet you are seemingly throwing jabs at one another in the public domain? Thank you.
Yeah, I've been badly covered. My other question is, wanted to know if during the NEC discussions you discussed, there is an issue about the new regional chairperson of Dr. Khobusana in Buffalo City, who was former regional secretary. He was banned because of his alleged involvement in the swindling of the Mandela funeral memorial scandal. So he was elected recently as the chairperson, and the National Integrity Committee was dealing with that issue in terms of taking decision around the new structure of the ANC there. Did you discuss and take a final decision in terms of what should happen to the structure and specifically to Mkol?
Okay. Yes, Bonolo.
Good afternoon, and thank you for taking my question. It's Bonolo from Netwerk 24. SG, a New York Times report published at the weekend said that the ANC has become like the mafia with regard to the spate of politically connected killings in KwaZulu-Natal. This is not the first time that the New York Times has published a scathing report of the ANC. In this regard, SG, the image of the ANC in the eyes of the global community is increasingly taking a knock with regard to allegations of state capture, as well as now the politically motivated killings in the province. Is the ANC concerned about its image in the eyes of the global community? Thank you.
Okay, we are done with questions this side. maybe we can, yes?
Genevieve Puzzle from the Business Day. I've been covered on most things. Just quick clarity on the commission, the submission. Is the ANC going to make a written submission, or will someone actually go testify? You know, the bank's obviously implicated at that stage. The then Secretary General and the Deputy and the head of the Economic Transformation Subcommittee. So will it be a oral, will someone actually go and testify, or is it going to be a written submission? And on the Integrity Committee, the terms and references, how, I know there was the ANC was trying to decide exactly how the Integrity Committee is going to work. Will it have more teeth, etc.? What are those terms of references? Will the ANC share that with us of exactly how the committee will work? So I remember at NASREC as well, they were trying to decide exactly how that would all happen.
Okay.
Thanks.
That's fine. Let's take the two last ones, SG.
Thank you very much. I have two quick questions here. The first one is when you talked about travel spots.
Is that the journalist?
My apologies.
Okay.
I'm Susan Boyson.
Okay,
I'm
Susan.
a political analyst and etc. Thank you very much. And about the visit, you say you will be doing to travel spots. It seems to be approach of governance by visits. Could you help me understand here? What is it you hope to make different by going to visit troubled communities where there are protests and social uprisings, really? And so what is it that will be new there that you do not already know, that your councillors and your ministers and state departments have not already been empowered to act on? So just to help unpack those visits. And then just a second point, I'm touching base on quite a few questions around the room about unity. Many of the questions also brought in the details of disunity that we've seen. So is this unity, the focus on unity that you talk about, is that a new phenomenon that arises out of this NEC, or is it a redefinition? Is that what we have been seeing around us? Is that compatible with how you define unity? Thank you very much.
Sorry, just add one last one. Sorry to...
Inkinga yakhona is that sisirana ngeline, so asiyazi ukumuva, we have to stick to. Yes, we are taking the last question.
Thank you. My question is about the economy. At the NEC meeting, was there any discussion about the role of the Reserve Bank in the wake of the recent interest rate decision? Was there also any more discussion about a sovereign wealth fund and the modalities of where revenues for that might come from? And also, it seems that, depending on who you speak to in the ANC, there can be conflicting views on economic policy. Was there any frustration in the NEC meeting from some members of the NEC that there wasn't any fiscal stimulus in the economic package unveiled by President Ramaphosa? Did some NEC members want to see more being done to ease the burden on disadvantaged South Africans in the wake of the recession? Thank you.
Well, let me start with that now, because, as I said, our focus was on the economy, and indeed we did discuss the stimulus package as well as the recovery plan in terms of the economy. And that's why we want to leave that matter to the job summit, because we have particular positions. We still want to hear more of our people affected, local business, South Africans. We want to give them that space so that when we come out of that job summit, we have taken on board all South Africans and we come with the South African solution to our challenges. So we have been a government of the people, government believing in consultation and participatory democracy. And that's why we've been running this country for many years. And we're not going to tire to be in touch with our people and different stakeholders. And that's why unity has always, during the entire existence of the African National Congress, we have always been focusing on unity. We're not going to stop talking about uniting our membership, uniting South Africans behind a non-racial, non-sexist, democratic as well as prosperous objective of the African National Congress. That's where our focus is. So we're not going to tire to talk about unity. Maybe when we talk about unity, because our understanding is that unity is also a process, divergent views, and we do allow these divergent views. And when they are divergent views, we even become more stronger. And we're not going to tire, because where all these things are also happening is even where other political parties are in charge, be it DA in the Western Cape, in Cape Town, be it DA councillors as well as ANC councillors. We're not worried about politics here. We're not going to play politics. We are focusing on the challenges facing our communities, black and white, in South Africa. And that's where our focus is. And we are actually, from time to time, connecting and reconnecting with our people. When we say we will be visiting, we want to ensure, because our structures are there on the ground, but we also want to ensure ourselves we go to these communities, as many of our leaders have been there, so that we are, and this is how the ANC has ever, for all the time, we have been part of our communities, not only when things are bad or when things are good. We are forever there with our communities. The issue of the Dr. Khubusana region in the Eastern Cape in terms of the conference, this matter will be dealt by the National Dispute Resolution Committee. It will finalize this matter, because wherever there are disputes, we refer these disputes to a particular committee, be it Integrity Commission or the National Dispute Resolution Committee. So we'll finalize this matter, and that's how we deal with internal issues of the African National Congress. We deal with them internally. And the ANC, indeed, Youth League, we have a task team, as I have said. We don't operate on rumors, because the ANC Youth League has officially met with the officials of the ANC, and they have pleaded that the National Executive Committee of the ANC must assist them with whatever challenges they have, assist them to make sure that their conference is successful, assist them to make sure that the Youth League agenda is on course. And there is no leader of the ANC who's going to tell the ANC leadership who they must actually elect. And the task team is there, and many of the comrades who were even former leaders of the ANC Youth League are part of the task team as members of the African National Congress. And we are working together. Nobody's going to take the powers of the ANC Youth League away. We are working together to assist them to deal with whatever challenges they face, even support them where we have to support them in terms of material support and the support they have actually requested to the ANC. So the Integrity Commission, I think the terms of reference will be out. You will actually get those terms of reference. And the ANC will decide what to do in terms of the Zondo Commission. The President will guide us as the leader of this movement. And we will actually deal with those issues and challenges. So unity, renewal. And me and Comrade Cyril Ramaphosa, we won't allow any West drivers to come in between us. We will stay focused, and we are going to work together, and we'll continue working together in the interest of the people of South Africa and membership of the ANC in its entirety. Cyril Ramaphosa is the leader of the African National Congress, and therefore, serving under him as Secretary General has always been a pleasure. And so we are focused, and we are going to work together, and we agree with the President. This is the time to plot against poverty. This is the time to plot against unemployment. This is the time to plot against inequalities. Divisions. Yeah? And this is the time to plot against divisions. And this is the time to focus on the unity of the ANC. So there is no international West drivers who are actually going to detract us from our focus. We will stay focused because I'm sure whether it's New York Times and whatever, the commission of Moerani, the Moerani Commission was set up in KwaZulu-Natal, and I'm sure the outcome of that commission will be respected by all of us. So let's not talk about rumors, perceptions, let's talk facts. We are talking facts here. The African National Congress is actually dealing with its own challenges. The African National Congress is looking and focusing, and people want to refocus the ANC and the ANC government not to deal with the challenges facing our people in South Africa in terms of poverty, in terms of unemployment, in terms of crime. Let us refocus all South Africans, black and white, on these challenges, because it can't be ANC and only government which can actually deal with this. We are calling to all South Africans, black and white, to focus and stay and support all the efforts of the African National Congress government as well as the ANC. So thank you very much for this opportunity, and we will see you. Report facts, not rumors, okay?
No, that's okay, Kedas. This now brings us to the end of the briefing. Thank you very much for making time to come. Thank you very much.
Well, we will give you the task team of the ANC Youth League. Of CAF, I remember Comrade Zezi here, Comrade Lamola, all the comrades, Comrade Kubai. The team is led by myself, Comrade Pule, Lindwe Zulu, Comrade Dakota, Comrade Mbalola. Yeah.
Okay, what we'll do is that when we are done with the revamping of our website,
okay. No, we are still fine. We are still fine.